Hello everyone, and welcome to this video introduction to the JS Pollock Subscriber Resource Center Bulletin Resources page. My name is Mike Novak, and I'll be taking you along on this tour showing you all of the resources that you have at your disposal and how you can get at them by using the JS Pollock Subscriber Resource Center. So let's get started. The first thing we'll be showing you is how to log in. We'll assume that you've already gotten your username and password, and so you're most likely will have been given this address, jspollock.com/src. So when you enter that into the address bar in your browser, you'll come to this page right here. And all you need to do is click where it says log in and then enter your information. Username and password, click submit, and that will take you to this page here. Now, depending on which services you've subscribed to, you might see any or all of these items on this particular landing page. But the one we're concerned with, of course, is over here on the left, the Bulletin Products and Services. So just come over here and click on the image, and that will take you to this page. Now, there are a number of services that we provide to our Bulletin customers, including newsletters for Bulletin editors and webinars, something like this one, to get you up to speed on things that you might want to do with your Bulletin. But we're going to focus today on the Bulletin resources right over here. So I'll just click on this item, and we'll be moving into the next area momentarily. Now, of course, that's a lot of clicking, and if you want to come in here on a regular basis or even more frequently, there might be you might be wanting a faster way to do that. So we're going to take a minute and show you how quickly you can get to this very same point in the process. So what you'll be doing instead of where you started out before is you'll just be going to the main homepage of JS Pollock. So that's www.jspollock.com. And when you enter that into your browser's address bar, you'll come to a page that looks like this. And over in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see Bulletin's Login. Just click on that and then enter in your password, your username and password, and click Login. That takes you immediately to the last page that we were just at. So once you get there, you're going to be able to take a look at all the resources that we have for you right here in one place. Now, the first thing that you'll see when you get to this landing page is that we have items listed in a number of different categories. We have these 12 categories here to give you easy access to a number of the different things that we have at your disposal. This first item over here will take you to all of the resources that we have. If you click on this, it'll take you to a page with several tools that you can use to search throughout the resources to find just the thing that you need to put in your parish bulletin. What we're going to save this one for last and instead show you the different ways that you can get to subsets of that information so that you can get to do what you need to do on your bulletin more quickly. So most bulletin editors are likely going to be using this page here. So we're going to click on it where it says This Sunday, which will give you a list of all the items that we have prepared for you that you might be able to use on a particular Sunday. In this case, it's the one that's coming up. So if you take a look here on this page, we have a number of photographic covers that are available for your use. Those are the first thing that show up on this page. And then when you get down about halfway, you'll see that we have a number of the items that you might be familiar with if you've been a subscriber to the Bulletin Building Blocks book and disc resource. So you might recall that this is the way that looked in that resource. You have a text page over here, and then you have the graphic files over here, and if you turn the page, you have more of them, and then it goes into Spanish for the same week. So it's similar on the Subscriber Resource Center, except that everything is laid out this way. So we have the Bulletin Building Blocks items here, and if you scroll down all the way to the bottom, By the way, the default for our bulletin pages on the Subscriber Resource Center is 120 items. So you can see on any given Sunday, we do have more than 120 items for you to browse through. Now you may have noticed when you got down to the very bottom that we haven't yet gotten to the text pages that you saw in the bulletin building blocks. So let's click on number 2 here, and that will take us to the next page. And you'll see here now we have access to the text pages. Now, because of the format of the text pages and the way that web pages are designed, we can't show you those pages directly, but you can click on a preview and see the contents of the text page for the coming Sunday. Now, you may be tempted, as a number of our users have been in the past, to just copy and paste what you see here from this text preview. But if you look at it carefully, you'll see that some of the items in the formatting, the bolding and the italics and so on, are missing from this. But more importantly, special characters are missing. Even simple things like apostrophes and quotes are just replaced with these little squares. So it's really not a good idea to copy and paste the text from these previews, but rather just use them to make sure that the item has the contents that you want. And then you can close the preview, and we'll show you in the upcoming video how it is that you can download these items onto your computer and then from there put them into your parish resource. So we have the text items that are here, and then a few more images to show you as well, a few children's bulletin items and some comics. I'm going to go back to the previous page and spend just a little bit more time exploring what you can see on any given Sunday. So we have, as I mentioned earlier, the photographic covers, and they come in a number of formats. Some of them you'll see here are full page, some are half page, some are corners. And then some of these others are here can be used in a variety of ways. All of the full page ones have a scripture quote and the Sunday of the year and the date as well listed on them. Some of these other photographic covers might just have a very brief quote from the scripture and nothing more. So the choice is yours when it comes to figuring out which of those covers you might want to use. And then farther on down here, this happens to be the weekend before the 4th of July, so we also have special occasion covers listed here as well. And then the items from the bulletin building blocks, most of them are in color and black and white, English and Spanish. And then here's a feature that we've added rather recently. Letters from Heaven is a little bit of a puzzle that people can work out when they see this in their Sunday bulletins. The idea would be to take the letters that appear in the little box and to trace a line through them so that they spell out the words that finish the scripture quote. So something you can add to your bulletins to make them a little bit more, to give them a little different kind of interest, a little bit more of a challenge for some of the readers to enjoy. So these are the items that will appear under this first category here, the Sunday category. Now, you could get to the other categories by clicking on Home here and then returning here and waiting for all of these things to repopulate. And you see we have not only this Sunday, but items called photo covers and weekly text pages, and thematic resources, and so on. But we've provided something here that makes it a little bit more convenient for you if you like. So we'll go back to this Sunday page. I'm going to give my browser a little time to catch up with me here. And what we're going to show you is that across the top of every one of these pages that you get to by clicking on these is a little bit of a band right here that contains tabs that will take you to any one of these. So you just saw those boxes with things like the photo covers and the texts and so on and so forth. These also appear with these tabs. So we're just going to spend the next little while exploring each one of these tabs and showing you what we have available for you to use and put in all of your parish resources. So we're going to take a look here at this item called photo covers. And what this item will show you are all the different kinds of photo covers that we have available for you for the Sundays, for the next 4 upcoming Sundays. You can see here the search criteria will show files for all the periods between June 30th and July 21st. So again, covers that you saw for the current Sunday, and then as you scroll down, you'll see that there are also covers for the Sundays that come after. And because there's so many of those, they're going to fill up several pages, and you can get to those by clicking on these buttons down here. Now, if you don't want to grab the scroll bar and jump to the top of the page again, you can also click on this handy arrow that will take you right back to the top. In addition to taking a look at all of these various covers, perhaps you know on in any given week that there's only a certain kind of cover that you're interested in. So we've broken those out. If you click on this little downward pointing triangle, you'll see that we've broken them out into different categories: just the full page covers, and just the half page, and something we call customizable and corners. So let's just take a minute to look at each of those. The covers that we call full page covers are the ones that have the text from the scripture and the Sunday of the year and the date, in addition to the images that you see that are designed to cover a full front page of your Sunday bulletin. Also included are items. They're going to be in both color and black and white, and in English and in Spanish. And this also just shows you the covers for the next 4 Sundays. Moving beyond that, we then show you the half-page covers. So if you don't want to cover your entire front page with an image like that, you can use one of these, and it covers half the front page, and you can put something else somewhere else on the page. And again, these are listed here for the next 4 Sundays. And again, we have several choices for you in English and in Spanish. Other items to show you under the covers, we have an item called customizable covers. So these are the covers, the photos and the designs that we've created for the Sundays, and we've taken all the text off them so that if you're so inclined, you can add the text that you want to add. Perhaps you need to have something in several different languages, and this gives you the opportunity to put the text in those places here that are provided that wouldn't otherwise be available to you because they already have some text in them. So these are here for you for the next 4 Sundays as well. And then the final item is this format of cover that we call corners. Sometimes you want to have a nice design on the front cover that's in color and graphically appealing, but you also have a lot more information from the parish that you want to include. So you can put something here like this that comes up the side and across the top and gives you this much extra space to put in the information that you want on the front page. And all of these include the scripture quote and the Sunday of the year and the date from the calendar. So these are the items that you can find under covers. We'll move along to the next category. These are the text files, and really all these are the same files that you're familiar with. Let's go back to the bulletin building blocks, and if we just page back here, you'll see we have a whole page of text, and these are provided for you on the Subscriber Resource Center as well. So you'll see scripture reflection articles, items for today's readings and readings for the week, perhaps treasures from our tradition or something similar, little quotes that you can add, and then a little something that includes a scripture quote and an image. So these text pages are available to you on the Subscriber Resource Center, and we've taken all of those and put them in one place for you as well, so that you don't have to dig through any given Sunday or flip a page or whatever you need to do to get to them. They're all right here for the next 4 weeks in English and in Spanish. And again, you can look at them and see what they're like on the preview. You can download them to your computer and then copy and paste whatever text you need from there to put into the resource that you're creating. So now we're going to move along to the next category, and these are the thematic resources. So what we've done is we've taken several elements like an image and text and combined them into one so that you can take something that's about 2/3 of a page and anywhere from a half to 2/3 of a page, and put that in your bulletin. It's pre-formatted and ready to go, and it has an image and a scripture reflection and the readings for the day as well. And you'll see that we have those available in English and Spanish, and they're also available in both languages with a smaller image. And then over here, we also have these same files available to you in text that you can edit and format the way that you like to put in your bulletin. And again, we encourage you to download those files rather than copying and pasting them from the preview. These are also available here for you for the next 4 Sundays. The next item we'll be looking at is an area that we call current concerns. Now, there are things that go on in the church or in the country or in the world that might be a concern, perhaps something that's come up that requires prayer, or something that just requires attention being called to it. Perhaps a new pope has been named, perhaps there's been a hurricane somewhere, and we take those items and we put them here in the current concerns area. Presently in this area, we have a set of covers that were designed by the CRS, Catholic Relief Services, because of a hurricane that took place in Africa last month. So those are there that provide an opportunity for you to put those in your bulletin and draw people's attention to that particular event. At other times of the year, we put other items in there. And so how are you going to know that those are there? You may have seen this item at the top of every page here called Announcements. We put something here that will let you know that there's a special cover under Current Concerns, or as you can see in this case, there's been a special cover that's been created for the Diocese of Madison because they're getting a new bishop. So we have commemorative covers that we create whenever a new bishop has been named, and then we'll let people know in this announcement area. And as you'll see later on, we'll show you where those covers show up. So this is the Current Concerns area. The next category to talk about is titled Classic Images. From time to time, you might want to add to your image, add to your bulletin an image of classic art rather than the line art in the photographs that we often have. And this is the place to go for those. We have over 100 images of biblical scenes, images of Jesus, images of Mary, and of the saints that have been created by classic artists, many well-known ones. And you can scroll through this and take a look at all of the images and you'll see one you like. Here's one of Jesus walking on the water, Jesus washing feet, so on and so forth. There are some saints down at the bottom, St. Andrew, St. Anthony, even a photograph of St. Damien, if you can believe it. And then if you find that you don't want to scroll through the whole thing and want to get something specific, there are keywords associated with these images. So you can come over here to narrow your search and type in a keyword. Let's say you only want images that have Jesus in them. So you start typing and look at that. It's filled in for me already. Click on that, search, and once the page refreshes, you'll see that what we have instead of all of these is a set of images with only Jesus in them, or Jesus, in which Jesus appears. So that's a smaller subset of the previous images. Moving on to the next category. This one is titled Mary and the Saints. And what this category includes are a number of images and text articles about Mary under her different titles and also about the various saints. And you can tell in this case that these are text files because they'll have a text preview like that. And every file has a name that indicates what saint it's about. And if you look at the text preview, I clicked on the wrong thing there. If you look at the text preview, you'll see that it also includes the saint's feast day. So sometime around the beginning of January, you might want to have an item about St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, whose feast day is on January 4th. As we continue to scroll through these, I won't take the time to show you everything. You'll see not only do we have text files, we have images of Mary under her various titles, and further along we have some lovely, more recent images that we've created of various saints. Let's see if they're showing up. Here we go. So we have some more images of Mary. Here's a lovely image of Kateri Tekakwitha, who was recently canonized. We have various other saints. Lovely new images that have been created for us by very fine local artists. As you look at these images, you might say, well, those look kind of pixelated and blurry. That's because these thumbnails were created from high-resolution images and couldn't capture all the information to make the thumbnail look great. So if you need to check and make sure that the image is the quality that you want, you click on the file name, and you come over here and click on the image, and this shows you Oscar Romero, who is looking much better than he was in the thumbnail. As you see here, that's kind of blurry. That's just to give you an idea of the contents. But when you download the image, rest assured that all of the images that we give you are of high quality and good resolution. So we have here images and articles about Mary and the saints. One more thing I'd like to point out in this is we have a new feature called Saint Snippets. These are little kind of cartoon-style images that provide a little bit of information about each saint. So if we come down here to St. Thomas Aquinas, for instance, you'll see that we have sort of a caricature of him, an image of him. In this case, he's writing because he's well known for his long theological treatises. And there's a quote from each saint and also a little bit of biographical information about each saint. And as you can see, they're designed to be snipped out of your bulletin so that someone can cut that out and put that up on the refrigerator and be inspired by that saint all week, or maybe collect them and send them off to a nephew at school, or whatever else you might want to do with them. These are available in color, black and white, in English and in Spanish. So I'm going to click on this handy arrow, go back to the top of the page, and move on to the next category. Down here, we have a category called Traditions. And if you've been creating bulletins with us for some time, you're very familiar, I'm sure, with the item called Treasures from Our Tradition, which is an article that weekly article that tells you something about something in the many traditions in the Catholic Church. And we also have those available from a different author, so they're different topics in Spanish as well. And so you can find them under the Sunday page, but you can also find a collection of all the ones we've ever had here under the Traditions page. So if you're interested only in the English language ones, you can click on Treasures from Our Tradition, and the Spanish language ones, you can click on Tradiciones de Nuestra Fe, and either way, you'll get a whole collection of these images. One improvement we're working on in the coming months is to take all of these reflections, all these traditions that were created for a particular year, either year A, B, or C of the lectionary, and compiling all of those into single files so that you get a whole year's worth at once. You can just download it once into your computer and then cut and paste out of that and the articles that you like all during the course of the year. So that will be coming soon. Now, I mentioned before that we also have items from dioceses. So we talked about covers for bishops. The Diocese of Madison just got a new bishop, and J.S. Pollock creates commemorative covers for new bishops in every diocese. And when that happens, we'll put a notice up here, and then we'll put the covers that we've created down here in this section called Diocesan Downloads. But that's not the only thing we put in Diocesan Downloads, because we hear from several dioceses who ask us to take material that they've created and post them in our resource center for bulletin customers. And so that's what we do. And when we do that, we let the diocese know that it's here, and we tell them that our bulletin customers can obtain it here under the Diocesan Downloads page. So then you can see we have a couple of items. These are here from the Diocese of Joliet. We have a newsletter that shows up every month from the Diocese of Green Bay. Here's Bishop Hine from Madison. And then we have some other items, more from Joliet, farther down from St. Louis. And this was when the new cardinal was installed in Washington, D.C. So as you can see, we have a number of items that we'll put here. And whenever we put something that's of interest to someone, we'll put a note here in the announcements as well to let you know that it's there. The next section we'll look at is a section on comics. We've created comics for every Sunday of the year in two different styles. We have the Pastor Al comics. Pastor Al is a parish priest who encounters various kinds of adventures in his own parish. And then we have the little ones created by a different artist that offer brief, memorable comments on some scripture passages for the current Sunday. And so, again, these are posted for the next 4 Sundays, or if you click on here and you want to see more of Pastor Al, you just go down here and we'll show you all of the Pastor Al from all 3 years of his comics that we have, and the same for the little ones cartoons as well. And these are all available in both English and in Spanish. And again, if you want to refine your search, you can click over here and show only the English ones. And when you hit search, there will be only the English language Pastor Al cartoons, and so on and so forth. The last item we'll show you is over here. This one is called One Parish. You're probably aware that we provide a service for your parishioners that they can get an app that they download into their smartphone that gives them all sorts of information and keeps them in communication with your parish. This section here includes advertisements about that One Parish app that you can put in your bulletin to help promote it, so that people know that it exists and that that's something that they can be aware of and make use of. So this has kind of been a whirlwind tour of all of the items that we make available to you. I said at the beginning I wanted to save this item over here for the very end. And this is a page that allows you to access, in one way or another, all of the items that are available to you in the Subscriber Resource Center. And the way that you would do that is you can choose a particular Sunday. You can type a keyword in and maybe ask for everything that you need for the season of Advent. You can choose a month and pick out a feast or a holiday, or if you happen to know from past experience what the name of the file is, you can type that in here, and the file with that name will appear over here in your search results. You can also apply these filters to all of your results so that it narrows it down and makes it easier for you to find something. Now, a number of you parish bulletin editors like to work ahead, and this is the page that you'll come to if you're done with all of the bulletin work that you want to do for the coming Sunday and you want to work 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead or even more. You just go down here and choose, well, let's see, we're at the end of June now. You can choose not only this coming Sunday, but you can choose all of July if you want. And that gives you all of the items that we provided for the Sundays for that whole month. Or maybe you just want to work with 1 week at a time. So then you can pick just for July 7th or maybe just for July 14th. Then you can scroll down here and click on the search button. And now you have all of the information that you would have seen for the upcoming Sunday, but now it's for a Sunday 3 weeks away. And so you see all of that information is there, and you can choose it the same way. So this particular page of the resource gives you access to all of the resources that we have in various ways using the search tools that we see here. And what I'd like to do is bring this particular presentation to an end and invite you to view the next presentation, which shows you how you can use these tools to find the things you need so that you can create the bulletins with all the resources that we have at your disposal. Thank you for watching and listening, and I look forward to talking further with you in the other videos.